Hey everyone, welcome back to this Python data structures course. In this video, we're going to be departing from learning about sequence types in Python for a little while, and we're going to take a look at another fundamental data structure in Python, dictionaries. Unlike every other data structure we're covering in this course, dictionaries are not sequences. They are a unique Python type, also called a mapping type. At its core, a dictionary is a set of key-value pairs. The purpose of a dictionary is to map or associate certain values with each other. You can declare an empty dictionary using curly braces like so. You can also declare a dictionary with elements already inside it. So let's take a look at how information inside of a dictionary is structured. So inside of our curly braces, we'll create a series of key value pairs. Since key value pairs are, again, the fundamental data type that dictionaries are keeping track of. So let's say we want to associate some strings with some numbers. So I'll create a string, say the word apple. We'll follow that with a colon. This represents that anything before the colon is a key, and anything after it is going to be the value associated with that key. So let's say we'll associate the number 2 here with apple, and then we'll try another fruit key pair, and we'll associate the number 3 with that. And so now we have a dictionary with 2 key value pairs. The keys in this case are the strings apple and pear, and the values are 2 associated with the apple key and 3 associated with the pear key. So now that we have our dictionary declared, how can we use it? The most basic syntax we can use with the dictionary is looking up a value based on a key. This is, after all, why the data structure is called a dictionary. In a real dictionary, we're looking up the definition of a word based on the word itself. In that case, the word would be the key, and the definition is the value. You can think of dictionaries in Python as just a more abstract version of this concept. So let's say we want to look up the value that is underneath the key apple in this dictionary. We can use bracket notation to accomplish this. So we put in the key inside of our bracket, and it will return to us the value that is associated with that key inside of the dictionary. We can also use this notation as an assignment operator to add a new key value pair to the dictionary. So let's say we want to add another key, let's say blueberry, and we want that key to be associated with the value 1. We can put that in there, and we can see that we have successfully added another key value pair to our dictionary. Dictionaries also expose some useful functions for reading data and manipulating it. So let's say we want to get a list of all of the possible keys that are inside of our dictionary. All we have to do is call the keys function on our dictionary, and it will return to us a list of the keys inside of our dictionary. Likewise, we can do the same with the values. Note that if you actually want to use these directly as a list, you'll need to cast this response to a list, since this is actually a special dict keys object. So we can see if we enclose our keys inside of a cast to a list, we have our keys in the format we would want. Dictionaries also expose some useful functionality for getting and removing items that is a little bit more safe in our program than this syntax right here. Namely, we can use the get function to look up a value by key. What the get function allows us to do is actually specify a default value that it will give back to us in the case that our dictionary doesn't have a key. For instance, if I were to put a key value in here that doesn't actually exist, we will get back our default option. But let's say I use our old syntax with a key that doesn't exist, the program will crash. And so this is a helpful way to be a little bit more safe with calling something from our dictionary without having to do too complicated of error handling. We can also remove elements by key from a dictionary by using the pop method. This is similar to the pop method on lists, for instance. So let's say we want to get rid of the apple key inside of our dictionary. And do that, it will return to us the value, but now our dictionary only has 2 keys in it. Dictionaries, like maps in other languages, are a backbone of programming in Python. Almost every program of any complexity will make use of them, as associating keys with values turns out to be a very, very useful thing to be able to do. Before we wrap our discussion on dictionaries, let's take a look at a few more syntactic features that Python has for us. If we want to loop through the contents of a dictionary, we can take advantage of another built-in dictionary function called items that allows us to do it very gracefully and succinctly in a for loop. What items returns to us is an iterable filled with key value pairs that we can actually unpack directly inside of our for loop. So for instance, we can say for key comma value in d.items. Let's say we just want to print the key and the value. And here we go. Finally, much like lists, dictionaries also have a comprehension syntax. It's used similarly to list comprehensions. It can create new dictionaries via filtering or applying operations to an already existing dictionary. So let's say we want to take our already existing dictionary here and turn it into another dictionary where these strings have been made uppercase and these numbers have been multiplied by 2. We can do that with the dictionary comprehension that looks very similar to a list comprehension of the type we learned earlier in this course. But all we have to do is now, instead of a single element reference, we're going to be referencing the key value pair. So we can say, inside of our curly braces, for key value in d.items, what we want is a key value pair. So we want to apply the upper string function to our key to turn it uppercase, and we want to multiply our value by 2. And we can see that it creates a new dictionary for us based on these operations. And this is more or less all there is to it to basic dictionary functionality in Python. There are definitely plenty of more nuances to learn about dictionaries, and it's a very worthwhile structure to get comfortable with as a Python programmer.